what's happening, guys? As you guys know, most anticipated rematch ever, Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz, man. I don't know if you guys have been watching what's going on in the UFC. The first, I guess, press conference they have, I think it was on Wednesday. It was pretty chaotic, throwing water bottles, going back and forth. You know what I mean? It's pretty crazy. I'll be honest with you. I thought it was pretty much like kind of scripted, because it seemed scripted because as Conor stepped onto stage, and all of a sudden Nate Diaz decided to either disappear, and all of a sudden you hear his voice in the background, like it seems so distant. Then of course exchanges of words, and all of a sudden, Conor gets up, he gets angry, they start calling each other's out their own name, and all of a sudden bottles were being flung in the air, people getting hit. It was pretty crazy. To me, I thought they was trying to promote the fight and selling the fight, but to be honest with you guys, this is the highest grossing fight, like their first one. So this is a big money maker for Nate and for Conor and for the UFC. But most definitely, let's talk about what happened in the last fight. Definitely, as you guys know, Nate Diaz stepped in 2 weeks short notice because Rafael Dos Anjos had, broke his foot, and he had to step in. So 2 weeks notice to take on a fight, Conor McGregor. Conor was supposed to fight, Rafael Dos Anjos at 155, but I guess Nate wasn't in shape. It was harder for him to make that cut to 155. But who knows, I mean, I wasn't there. But they ended up fighting at 170. So definitely, the first round, you guys seen what happened. Conor was tagging up Nate. If you guys are not too familiar with Nate Diaz, he's a typical slow starter. Then as time progresses, he starts picking up his pace, and pretty much this guy has a gas tank, guys. So I wasn't worried about it too much. What Nate was doing and stuff. He's taking punishment. Nate Diaz could take punishment, guys. As you guys could tell, man, Conor was busting him up. But just to let you guys know, even though Nate Diaz, he has a lot of scar tissue around his face and stuff like that, and that's why he's, if you have scar tissue in your face, somebody keep punching you, it's gonna bleed. It's just because it's just their, scar tissue, and like I said, he did look a bloody mess, and Conor was hitting him as hard as he can, over and over, but he couldn't put him away. Then eventually, Nate Diaz ended up. Start picking up his pace, start catching him with the jabs, and start hitting him with that right hand. Started outboxing him, and that was pretty much. Then Conor was pretty much gassed out at that point in time already. So hopefully, Conor did his preparation, which I've been following it, and it seems like he's been prepared. His preparations on point. But for the most part, we'll see how this rematch goes. I'll be honest with you guys. Listen, is Conor McGregor a good fit for the sport? Yes, he is. He brings, drama. He brings excitement. He's one of the best, shit talkers out there, next to Chael Sonnen. If not, he even surpassed Chael Sonnen already. But definitely, it's good for the sport if Conor McGregor wins. All right, but at the same time, Nate Diaz he's a vet in the sport. He's been fighting for a long time, over 10 years. And as far as that goes, you got to give him credit, man. I used to watch Nate's old videos, and definitely he was bare knuckle. He was doing bare knuckle fights in a gym, guys. He's fighting grown ass people. I think he was 17 when he was fighting dudes. Definitely, he's a Gracie fighter, man. Gracie jiu-jitsu practitioner, just like his brother. He fights, fights really well. He's very smart, and not only that, he has great boxing. He trains with, Perez. He has good hands, and he spars with Golden Glove boxers too, guys. And now let's talk about Conor. Conor, he brought in, people. Almost the same physique as, Nate Diaz, or if not similar to Nate Diaz. Very tall, lanky, who has the reach. He brought in boxers to come in, and to train with him and sparring with him. He brought in a world-class Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy as well to train, working on his wrestling. So he's pretty much his training preparation is on point, means he has a schedule. He said it's not like before he just came into the gym and just trained, and whoever was there, he was just training with that person. So it wasn't no schedule for him. But this time, everything's all pretty much scheduled in for training sessions. So he said he went back to the basics, which he did. Now now he has the fuel. Now he wants to beat Nate Diaz, but can he do it? I don't know. I guess we're gonna find out on Saturday. And you got to keep in mind too, when Nate Diaz took the fight, it was only 2 weeks short notice. Now Nate has a full camp. I mean, full camp, guys. So there's no 2 weeks. I mean, now he looks in shape. When they did the weigh-ins, man, that was crazy too, man. The weigh-ins, and Conor's all amped up. He's getting all emotional about the fight. He's just ready to go. And just on the weigh-ins alone, man, it was just really exciting. It's just crazy. And hopefully, Conor McGregor's emotions don't get the best out of him. Because when you fight emotionally, it's hard, man, to contain that. Because, fighting with your emotions, you have a whole lot of energy you're using. And I think it's a waste. Because at one point in time, too, when I got in, when I was sparring with people, when you get all emotional, dude, the very first minute of the round when you're going all out and trying to take someone's head off, and you don't do that, man, you feel so tired. You just feel so drained. And, like I said, Conor's a professional. And I think this fight, it's gonna be a great fight, guys, off the bat. Let me give you guys my synopsis. Definitely, with Nate Diaz being a taller and much bigger fighter, and this time he has a full camp. Okay, in order for Conor to win, and he already claimed it on his interviews. He said he's gonna knock Nate Diaz out in the second round, and literally he needs to do that. He said he's ready for anything, and ready to fight anywhere. Okay, he could go stand up on the cage, against the cage, on the ground. You really don't want to do that with Nate Diaz, because one, he's the much bigger fighter. And right now he weighed in at 170.5. When fight night comes, he's going to be over 185. When he rehydrate, if not close to 185. So off the bat, he has the weight. He has the weight advantage. He has a height advantage. So Conor really have to put him away either in the first or second round. Because like what I said, as time progresses, Nate gets stronger. And he has an endless gas tank. And he could take some punishment. Just like their first fight, he was taking some serious headshots. His face was all a bloody mess. But that, just goes to show you, just scar tissues, it just opened up. But it just looked messy. All right? Conor has to knock him out. That's the only way. He needs to, don't let him set up with his jabs, trying to pretty much counter those jabs and trying to get those right hand and his left hand in there. He needs to utilize his kicks and start kicking his legs every time Nate Diaz will trying to set up with his 1, 2, 3 combo, starting off with the jab. He needs to start doing those inside leg kicks, outside leg kicks for Nate Diaz, so that way it kind of slows him down. You don't want to get Nate Diaz on a rhythm when the timing, especially timing Conor, And I'll be honest with you guys, Conor McGregor has impeccable timing. He has great movement in the ring, and he has great footwork, guys. So it's gonna be hard for Nate to time him anyways. But the more Conor McGregor keep him off his fight plan and his fight game, and start kind of put a little bit more pressure, so it kind of gets him thinking while he's moving in, getting kicked on the legs, and pretty much getting countered every time he jabs. All right, and that's the only way I could see Conor winning, is doing that, and also just staying away and stay pretty much fluid throughout the fight, and just trying to be using his speed and his accuracy to take out Nate Diaz. And now in order for Nate to win, it's easy for Nate. One, like I said, he's the bigger fighter. He's gonna be heavier. He's going to be taller. So all Nate has to do is just hold him in a clinch, hold him up against the fence, and just outbox him, just tire him out, and pretty much just use his size advantage and just pretty much grind him down, use his boxing, then take him down to the ground again, and use his jiu-jitsu and finish him again like last time. And, I think it's going to get done. And I'll be honest with you guys, listen, I think Conor McGregor is very good for the sport. He makes the sport exciting. But at the same time, it's hard for somebody at 145 pound who pretty much is the champ at that belt fighting somebody at 170. You know what I mean? It's hard to jump two weight classes and fight an opponent like that. And to be honest with you guys, you know, let me tell you guys my pick. You know, do I want Conor to succeed? Yes, because he brings excitement to the sport. But is he gonna win? In my opinion, it's gonna be hard for him. And you know, not too many people finished off Nate. All right, guys. You know, and it is hard. You know what I mean? Like I said, not too many people finished Nate Diaz, especially knocking him out. He could take extreme punishment, guys. You know, and to me, you know, in my opinion, because everybody had different opinions, of course. You know, Nate's just gonna pretty much do the same thing he did last time, but this time at a faster pace because he got a full training camp now. You know, definitely do I think Conor's a great fighter? Yes, he is a great fighter. But I just don't think at 170 is not the right fit for him. Maybe I wanted to see him fight in 155 first before he got into 170. Because that's where the test is for him in order for him to move up at 170. But, you know, like I said, this guy, I give him a lot of credit. You know, you got to give respect when respect is due. He pretty much cleared out the whole 145 weight division. And let me tell you guys something. He never backed down on any fight. He'll take any fight at any weight class. I respect him for that. But in this time, I think this is going to be just a big mountain for him to climb. You know, not saying he don't have the skill set to do it, but it's just going to be tough, guys. It's not going to be an easy fight for him, nor it's going to be an easy fight for Nate either. So I'm not saying it's an easy fight for both men, but just in my opinion, and I think Nate's going to take this one again. He's going to pretty much, this time he's going to be smarter. He's going to start faster. He's just going to pretty much use his size and his weight, you know, and his weight to his advantage, and just pretty much outbox him, clinch him, hold him up against the fence, and you know, try to take him down. If not, just pretty much just in the clinch game, he'll just hold him against there. If you guys ever felt somebody putting their weight on you when you're fighting somebody, if you guys ever took wrestling, when someone puts their weight on you and you try to move, you know, you're using up a lot of energy, guys. I felt somebody, I got to spar and train with somebody who is 20, maybe 25 pounds heavier than me. Dude, let me tell you, after I came out the first round, dude, I felt so exhausted because all he did was put his weight on me against the cage. If not, just on the ground itself when you're rolling with somebody. It's just tough, guys. But anyways, guys, leave me your comments down below. Let me know who you guys are rooting for. And for me personally, I think Nate's going to take it. You know, I got nothing against Conor McGregor. I think he's a great fighter. He's a great showmanship. You know, he brings fans to MMA, brings fans to the UFC. He has a big fan base. And like I said, I got to give him respect, guys. You got to give respect when respect is due. And like I said, he never shies for any challenge. I respect him for that. And he did a lot in his short time in the UFC. Accomplished a lot, too, as well. And when he said he was going to take the division by storm at 145, which he did, he pretty much cleared it out. And he knocked out Jose Aldo, you know, who hasn't been beaten within the last 10 years in 13 seconds, knockout fashion. So you guys got to give him credit, too, man. I know a lot of people hate on Conor, but you can't, man, because, you know, like I said, when he said he was going to do something, he did it. And now, you know, this is the man in front of him. Now, he said he's going to knock him out in the second round. You know, Conor, prove me wrong, man. Let me see if you could do it. But right now, I got my, you know, I pretty much, you know, my pick is Nate Diaz, man. Prove me wrong, Conor. Prove me wrong. That's all I ask, man. We'll see. But anyways, guys, leave me your comment down below. You know, and I can't wait for Saturday. I'm excited. I can't wait to see the fight. Just the weigh-ins was crazy. The press conference was nuts. Now it's time to get the show started. Let's get ready to rumble. UFC 202 on Saturday. Make sure you guys check it out. And guys, you know, don't forget to hit the like button. You know, the thumbs up button. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.